morning and a very warm welcome. This is the Breakfast Rundown on TV1. I'm Therunee Karunaratne. We're coming to you live and direct from our Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. Well, it's a brand new week, so as always, we are ready to bring to you details on this morning's top local and international news items. You can stay tuned with us right throughout for the news in detail. Well, since a few days ago, a rumored fuel shortage has been making it to the news headlines in the country. The government and the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation have been continuously rejecting these claims on the fuel shortage, and they say that it's simply a result of misinformation being spread online on social media by certain factions. Now, the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation further says that the government does in fact have sufficient fuel stocks to meet the country's demands. CPC Chairman D.A. Rajakaruna stated that fuel stocks have already been ordered up to August this year. Over 1,500 fuel orders have been received as of yesterday. The chairman of the CPC also mentioned that these stocks are being distributed. A discussion between fuel distributors and government officials regarding existing issues is scheduled to be held tomorrow. The Petroleum Distributors Association stated that they will attend this discussion at 9 a.m. tomorrow as per the chairman's notification. On to more local news now. Sri Lankan salt manufacturers have agreed to maintain stable salt prices in the country. Now, this agreement was reached during a discussion between salt manufacturers and officials from the Consumer Affairs Authority of Sri Lanka. The discussion extensively covered the recent variations in salt prices, salt shortages and other issues within the country. Domestically produced salt stocks are scheduled to be released to the market by the end of this month. On to some weather-related news now. As we know, many parts of the island have been experiencing extremely heavy rainfall, and the next few stories will be related to this adverse weather situation. The Nilvala and Ging rivers have reached minor flood levels. The Nilvala river has reached minor flood levels in Akurassa and Panadugama. Director of the Hydrology Unit of the Department of Irrigation, L.S. Surya Bandara, says that the Ging river has reached minor flood levels in Baddegama. Now, meanwhile, several roads in Mathura have been flooded due to heavy rainfall since last night. Many cultivated lands in the Dehiyatta Kandia area, which were close to be harvested, are also submerged. Approximately 200 acres of paddy fields in Arabadda Hambantota are flooded as well. This is due to the opening of spill gates of the Bandagiriya reservoir. Several cultivation lands belonging to the Giritale project have been flooded due to continuous rainfall for about 5 days. Meanwhile, about 200 acres of paddy fields in the Arunapura village in Aralagambila, which belongs to the Mahavali B zone in the Polonnaruwa district, are also flooded. Now, meanwhile, the landslide warning issued for the Badulla and Nuwara Eliya districts will remain in effect until this evening as well. Accordingly, landslide warnings have been issued for the following regions in the Badulla district: Passara, Halyala, Badulla, Kandakatiya, Uba Paranagama, Haputale, Megahakula and Surnathota. And in the Nuwara Eliya district, this warning covers the Valapane Divisional Secretariat Division. And finally, on to the weather news update now. Showers or thunder showers will occur at times in the eastern, southern and Uba provinces and in the Mathale, Nuwara Eliya and Polonnaruwa districts. A few showers may occur in the northern province and in the Anuradhapura district as well. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places elsewhere during the afternoon or night. Showers may occur in the coastal areas of the western province during the morning hours too. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in the western, Sabaragamuwa, southern and Uba province and in the Matale and Nuwara Elia districts. And as always, the general public is requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. Let's move on to more local news now. Today marks the fourth day of the debate on the third reading of the appropriation bill, also known as the committee stage debate. The committee stage debate is set to continue for 19 days, spanning over 4 Saturdays as well, from the 27th of February to the 21st of March. The vote on the third reading of the appropriation bill is scheduled for the 21st of March at 6 p.m. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dr. Therunee Karunaratne says that steps will be taken to establish economic democracy in the country. Dr. Karunaratne said that the ongoing budget debate in Parliament has highlighted an interesting shift, with the opposition now appearing to advocate for Marxist and Leninist ideologies more than the government itself. The Prime Minister added that from the very beginning, the government has been committed to establishing economic democracy in the country. She further explained that economic democracy means creating an economy where everyone can participate, ensuring that no one is left behind. The Prime Minister went on to note that the government is also working on a mechanism to distribute benefits fairly as well as efficiently. Moreover, she emphasized that special attention has been paid to how citizens can actively engage in this new economic system. Dr. Karunaratne added that through the budget, a significant amount of funds have been allocated across various ministries, particularly those linked to the economy of Sri Lanka. She said that these initiatives will create new opportunities, and she also urged the general public to take advantage of them. On to news overseas now. UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has announced a 4-point plan to work with Ukraine to end the war and defend the country from Russia. He said that the UK, France and other countries will step up their efforts in a coalition of the willing and seek to involve the US in their support for Ukraine. Now, Starmer said that they are at a crossroads in history after a summit of 18 leaders, mostly from Europe and including Ukrainian President Zelensky, who said Ukraine felt strong support and the summit showed European unity at an extremely high level, not seen for a long time. It comes just 2 days after a fiery exchange between the Ukrainian leader and US President Donald Trump in the White House. Speaking at a news conference shortly after the meeting of leaders, Starmer said 4 points had been agreed upon. The first being to keep military aid flowing into Ukraine and to keep increasing the economic pressure on Russia. That any lasting peace must ensure Ukraine's sovereignty and security, and Ukraine must be present at any peace talks. In the event of a peace deal, to boost Ukraine's defensive capabilities to deter any future invasion, and to develop a coalition of the willing to defend a deal in Ukraine and to guarantee peace afterwards. Now, Sir Keir Starmer also announced an additional 1.6 billion sterling pounds of UK export finance to buy more than 5,000 air defense missiles. This comes on top of a £2.2 billion loan to provide more military aid to Ukraine, backed by profits from frozen Russian assets. Well, let's take a look at what some of these global leaders had to say after the summit.
With real urgency, the UK is prepared to back this with boots on the ground and planes in the air. Together with others, Europe must do the heavy lifting. But to support peace in our continent and to succeed, this effort must have strong US backing.
And he added,
today I'm announcing a new deal which allows Ukraine to use £1.6 billion of UK export finance to buy more than 5,000 air defence missiles, which will be made in Belfast, creating jobs in our brilliant defence sector.
After what happened the other night between Presidents Trump and Zelensky, do you feel a greater personal responsibility alongside President Macron and others for delivering a workable peace? And on the coalition of the willing, as you've described it today, are you persuading more people to join it? Thank you.
On the question of responsibility, I do think the United Kingdom should step up and lead. We have done that historically as a nation, and we need to do it again. On the coalition of the willing, yes, a number of countries have indicated today that they want to be part of the plan that we are developing. I'll leave them to make their own statements about exactly how they want to make that contribution.
It's basically turning Ukraine into a steel porcupine that is indigestible for potential invaders. And therefore the focus is not only on the military supply, but also, for example, securing the energy system and making sure that over time this is a strong and resilient country.
Have you won the argument with European colleagues about stepping up to the plate in terms
Absolutely.
of money?
We all have understood that after a long time of underinvestment, it is now of utmost importance to step up the defence investment for a prolonged period of time.
I think it was a good meeting. It was a very good meeting, because what you see is European countries stepping up. First of all, to make sure that Ukraine has got what it needs to stay in the fight, as long as it has to continue. What we also see is European countries really ramping up to help with security guarantees for the moment when a peace deal would be struck. Obviously, there is no deal yet. There is no ceasefire yet. But we have to prepare for that moment.
Well, that's a wrap of this morning's edition of the Breakfast Rundown on TV1. I'm Therunee Karunaratne. Do join us once again tomorrow as well, right here on TV1 at 7 a.m. for more of the very latest from here at home and around the world. Until then, take care. Have a wonderful day ahead.